Everyone, we are live and welcome back to the Big Three, where tonight we're going to talk about two major news stories that have really gone viral. Are they important? Probably not. But are they salacious? Absolutely. We're going to talk about Graham Platner and all the fuckery surrounding this man, as well as the ongoing government shutdown while renovations are happening to the White House. Well, some will call them renovations, others will call them demolitions. But before we get into any of that, we are very fortunate tonight to have with us Representative Jolanda Jones from the great state of Texas. And we still call it great, right, Rep. Jones? We still call it great, the great state. And we are so happy to have you because it's really important for us to get information from the ground, right? Like what's happening there. This is a highly contested U.S. congressional seat that has been vacant for way too long. Welcome to the Big Three.
And look, and the great city of Houston.
And the great city of Houston.
All right, H-Town.
Hey, we need to collaborate. I need to do something funny with you. When you imitated the Cornbreakers, you had me cracking up. Okay.
Look,
I just
y'all
want you to
did
know
y'all
that.
big one, okay? Y'all did y'all big one for us, all of us, okay? We were all rooting.
Exactly.
But yeah, we there's a congressional race going on right now, Texas 18, one of the 4 targeted seats by the Republicans. One of the reasons why we jetted during the corn break. I am fighting. Early vote started on Monday, and it goes through the 31st of October, and then obviously Election Day is November 4th. Congressman Turner died on March 5th, so it's been vacant for a long time. And even before he got in, Congresswoman Jackson Lee died in July of last year, so it was vacant for almost 7 months then. So we have gone without representation. That big, ugly, nasty ass bill passed with only 1 vote. Had we had a representative, had I been the representative, I'd have voted against it and it wouldn't have passed.
It wouldn't have passed.
It wouldn't have passed. And I think the governor,
the governor.
The governor put it off so that Trump would have more control in Congress, for sure. There's not a doubt in my mind, because the governor constantly is always up Trump's butt. True story.
So one thing that, my question is, as you're seeing early voter turnout, what trends are we seeing from early voter turnout, and what do you think it portends for this race?
So voter turnout is low, and it's a special election. So normally there wouldn't be an election during this time. So people aren't used to voting right now. So it's been a lot to get people to vote, which is why I'm glad that you guys are covering this, because people need to know. And, some people just haven't connected the dots. I was in the grocery store this morning buying stuff for my mom, because my mom is working a poll for me, and I'll put her up against anybody. I saw a Black man. He looked to be in his 30s. He had 3 small kids who appeared to be his. And I was like, "Hey, sir, my name is Jolanda Jones. Have you voted yet? Early vote is going on now." And he was like, "I'm struggling with these kids." That's what he said. "I haven't voted. I'm struggling with these kids." And so people are.
But listen, let me tell you something, bro. The kids gonna be struggling with life if you don't get your ass to that damn poll and get Jolanda Jones in the seat. Get off your ass and vote. You got to find some time. This is a priority, people. So if you're watching this on a replay, you have friends, family in the Houston area. Anywhere there is a special election, every election matters. Every election matters. I took my ass to early voting here in Georgia. There's only one thing on the ballot. We're voting for 2 seats for the Georgia Public Service Commission. And people didn't even know that such a thing even existed. And they helped set the damn power rates. Power bills through the roof, because Georgia Power is getting money and getting rich and wealthy and putting money back into these people's pockets. Every election matters. Get them to the poll.
For sure. And so I'm proud to say that in our very Republican state government, I passed a bill.
Come on.
I had to figure out how to work across the aisle, but I put local civics in school, where they literally learn about city council, the school board, MUDs, municipal utility districts. Because what I noticed when I was on city council is people might come to city council complaining about the school boards, school district stuff, and then would get mad at us because we couldn't fix it when we literally have no power over them. So I thought it was important for people to know who to be mad at. And so
That's
so I
right.
passed that bill. So that speaks directly to, Zach, what you were talking about that people don't know. In Texas, the state agency that controls utility costs are the Railroad Commission. Who would think that the Railroad Commission would control utility costs? So people don't vote on the Railroad Commission. And then you wonder why your gas bill is so high. So yeah, it really is sad. And, I think though that I can't go to people and be like, you need to vote. You need to do this because
we can. That's part of our job. It's our job. It's a job. But everybody watching, we have got to press hard for our fellow Americans, no matter where they are, to vote. We see Citizen Morgan, people coming in talking about they are voting yes on 50 in California. You've got to tell everybody this is the benefit, and this is, and for those who know politics, right? This is actually kind of sometimes a blessing and a curse to have a special election. The curse is that if you are a big name incumbent, which there isn't one in this race, you typically are at a disadvantage. But it's about who can pull their supporters out. It doesn't matter the endorsements. It doesn't matter the endorsements when it comes to a special election. It matters who shows up at the polls on that day. And that's what makes this a highly competitive race, is to mobilize the hardcore, true people who care about democracy to get up and go out and vote.
But let me tell you just a little bit about this. I've literally won 11 times in Texas 18. My opponents combined have won 3 times. I'm the only person in this race that's actually completed more than one elected term. I'm also the only one in this race as an elected official who didn't quit a job as an elected official to run for something else, because I don't quit what I start. I finished the task at hand. So that's why I got into this race 5 months late, because why you guys got introduced to me, because I refused to abandon my duties in the Texas legislature, because it was more important for me to fight against those racist maps than it was for me to forget my constituents that elected me to be the state rep for House District 147, go run to be in Congress, and no one would have known about the racist redistricting had I quit my job. So my point is this. I think that is helpful. I think people appreciate that I pick the people who elected me to fight for them and to help educate. Because Zach, as you just said, people just don't know. And what I have not done though, is what? My mother, I'll just say this. My mother, half the time we didn't have no gas money. My mother couldn't even come to my school events. We were getting evicted all the time. I mean, life was just really hard. So some people are really struggling. And it's not that they don't want to vote. They just have other stuff like, how am I going to get there? Do I have gas money to get there? Maybe they don't have an ID. IDs cost money, right? Who going to watch my kids? Those types of things. And so what I've tried to do when I talk to people is to explain, rather than to berate them or put them down, is to connect the dots. Like you said, and like I said to the man in the grocery store, it's hard. The reason why everything is so expensive for you to get for your kids is because Trump is in office. So
I love that.
If we vote him out of office, then maybe you can afford more things for your children. So I think that people just have not figured out that the dots are connected. They haven't figured out that a tariff, because most people don't know what a tariff is. They're charging people, especially if you shop at Shein or whatever, why is stuff online more expensive now? Because they have to pay more for it because of Trump. So if you want them clothes to go back down to what you used to buy them for, you need to get rid of Trump.
Right? My coffee was $3.99 but in this time last year. Now it's $7.68.
Oh, the eggs I bought used to be $6. They're now $13. Right? So people don't understand. You wonder why stuff is going up. So you have to connect those dots, because people that are struggling really aren't looking theoretically at anything. They're just trying to figure out, do I pay my lights and my water?
That's right.
right?
That's
Can't,
really right.
so that's what that is.
Well, let me just say this, Jolanda. One thing that I love about you particularly is we don't have people running for office that's closest to the pain. You said that you've been evicted with your mother in the past. I think a lot of the reason why Democrats aren't resonating, especially with people or non-voters, is because a lot of people look at the Democrat as elite, especially being the fact that they don't know anything about struggle. They don't know anything about pain. It's interesting that you
And they don't
bring
talk about it.
empathy. They don't talk about it. They don't talk about the poor. They just equate everything to the middle class. But what middle class are we talking about? Are we talking
But
about
but
upper echelon in the middle class? Or we talking about people down in the dirt? Okay, I've been through it. Okay, I understand the struggle. Understand having to get a payday loan in order to keep your lights on and then still be put out. I understand all of those things, and I think you bring it up, leading with empathy, empathizing with people's struggle,
Mm.
being able to recognize what they're going through, rather than saying, "Well, you just got to vote. You got to vote." Understanding, but part of getting people on your side is listening. And then when you're listening, you're actually able to figure out, okay, what are your pain points? What can we do in order to make your life a little bit easier? And I
and
think
Kenny, I was thinking, I was just telling somebody, and it got a lot of views. So when I was younger, my health insurance was going to the city health clinic. That's where my mama took me.
Mm.
I got my vaccinations at the health clinic. I got my teeth cleaned at the health clinic, at the city health clinic. I got my eyes checked at the city health clinic, right? That wasn't insurance. That was government dollars doing what government dollars are supposed to do. And that was important. And people don't understand that. And people, and I always wonder, what the hell is middle class, right? If you miss one paycheck, if you miss a day of work and you can't pay your bills, does that make you middle class? I mean, because to me, that's poor. I used to do free and reduced lunch, right? I did free and reduced lunch at CUNY Homes, which is some Section 8 housing. And you know what we ate? We ate graham crackers and orange juice. To this
mm,
day, I don't eat graham crackers and orange juice together, because it just brings me back
Back to the
to a
memories.
time, to a time where we ain't had no money. And that was the only thing that I ate. So I think that as Democrats, we talk over people's heads. When I
mhm,
talk, I always talk to the person I believe has the least amount of education, because the fastest way to lose somebody's attention is to talk over their head and make them think you're better than them.
mhm.
Amen to
I
that.
mean, that's just what I
Uh,
believe, right? So there are people that are like, sometimes I will speak Ebonics, and it is because that's some language that some people, that's all they know. And so why would I use really big words?
Kenny
So
make
says
it
that
simple.
all the time. That
Make it very
definitely
simple for the folks.
that is
Yeah,
Kenny's like
exactly.
rallying point when it comes to Democratic messaging, is that the message is too convoluted, too highfalutin, and just not reaching people.
let me tell you, Kenny. So the reason y'all met me is this. So I'm gonna give y'all a little behind the scenes. During the quorum break, which again, hopefully now people will know what quorum is. During the quorum break, the Democratic talking points were: Trump is stealing 5 Democratic seats. Trump is making Governor Abbott bend the knee. When I saw the talking points, I was like, don't nobody black know what bend the knee is?
Bending
That's
the knee
some
is dumb
English
as
shit,
hell. I
right?
agree
Like
100%.
who knows what that is,
If
right?
you ain't watched
Right.
Game of Thrones, baby, you don't know shit about
Right,
bending the knee.
right. And so I was like, okay, that's not, that's just not, that's not going to resonate. And they literally determined who they wanted to be the spokespeople for the quorum break. And
Mm,
and the people weren't black, but the seats they still in are black. So I kept saying they paid for publicists to get people on all these mainstream TV
Mm.
shows, and they're giving these talking points.
But
And,
God.
and then, so I'm sitting, just so you know, I wasn't supposed to talk at the New York press conference with Governor Hochul. I was not supposed to talk. And they told us only 3 people are going to talk: the governor, the speaker of the assembly, which, and your delegation leader, who was a white woman, right? That's what they said. Now, mind you, the seats they stealing, 4 are black and 1 is Hispanic. And So they said, and the media is going to only ask them questions. And I was prepared to sit there and be a team player. I was, until nobody gave the right answer when they asked about the redistricting, because white people never want to call racism racism. So they asked the question. They said the bend the knee, communism, and and stuff like that. And I was like, hell to the no. They racist. Respectfully, he making up some shit. And they stealing 4 black seats, and they pitting black people against each other. And why won't anyone say it? So I can't be quiet. I cannot be silent.
You on the national stage, because you spoke truth to power, and that is exactly what we need more of in the United States House of Representatives. Absolutely. I'm gonna go out here and say something very bold that people on the replay may see it and be like shocked that who may see this, who don't know me, but I know that those of you watching, know me well. You guys rock with me and walk with us, so you know that I'm prone to say shit like this. I've looked into all the candidates running for this office, and there's some impressive people, and I'm happy to say that. But they're also very similar to what we have a lot of in the United States House of Representatives. And people may be shocked to hear me say this, but we don't need any more bland black men. We don't need that right now. Not in this moment. You who watch this show know that I support bland black men. Okay, I'm a defender of them oftentimes on social media. I am the biggest supporter of some of them, right? Because they're there, they've worked their way up, they've earned their place, they bring certain skills and assets, and they're there. But we don't have to put another one in there right now. We can put someone who speaks truth to power. We can put someone who is going to stand up for all of us, including the least of us, according to how they see us. Someone who's walked the walk, who's lived the life. That is desperately needed right now. And that's why it was so important to get Representative Jones in the door now, while what we are showing you can still make a difference.
Zach, let me share just a few things about me. I was with my father when he blew his brains out. I've had a whole bunch of counseling, right, to figure out how to deal with it on a daily basis. So thank you, Jesus, when I finally was able to afford health insurance. I've been without health insurance before. Before Obamacare, I could not afford health insurance for my son and I. My son was playing basketball in college. He broke his foot. Unfortunately, a staph infection took hold, and I had to pay. I depleted my savings and my retirement to save my son's foot, because I had to pay for 4 surgeries in 6 months. And when you do not have negotiated rates for insurance companies, which I didn't know that till this happened, you have to pay the full amount, and they want their money up front. So I lost everything, right? And I would do it over again. My son has a foot. Otherwise, his foot was going to have to be amputated. So that's one thing I'll say. I was the first Black openly LGBTQ plus person in the Texas legislature. And when I win for Congress, because I'm just going to claim it, I will be the first Black openly LGBTQ plus woman in the United States House of Representatives. Now, to me, that don't make no damn sense. It is 2025. There are literally 12 whole LGBTQ plus people in the United States House of Representatives. That is a 435 person body. When I get elected, there will be 13 of us, and I will be the only Black woman, and I will be the first Black woman. Why are we still having first like that? It makes not a lick of sense.
In 2025.
In 2025. Y también hablo español. Aprendí en las escuelas, en escuelas públicas. No soy Latina, soy de 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas. And for those of you who don't speak Spanish, I'm not about to translate for you what I said. So now you
heard what she said. What did she say?
Now you see what immigrants feel like who don't speak English, and the world is going on without them. That's just a little taste. So I try to walk in the footsteps of the people that I'm trying to help. And I will tell you that when my grandmother was at the end of her life, me and my aunts had to pay for her medications because she could not afford them. And we wanted for her to be as comfortable as possible. And it was very hard to find a hospice nurse. It was very hard. It is very hard to be a caregiver. My mother lives with me. My mother is elderly. You know, it is what it is. They say twice a child. My point is this. I understand the struggles. I'm not rich. I didn't have no nanny. My son wasn't in Jack and Jill. He went to regular old school. I'm not in the links. You know, I don't do those things because I wasn't raised like that. And I will tell you, the powers that be don't want me to be in Congress. They want the same old, same old. They've raised well over $1 million for my opponents. I'm nowhere close to that. But you know what? It's more poor people than rich people. So
Amen.
I'm hoping that our village of people who are struggling will come and help. $1 donation, $5 donation, $10 donation. You know, I would ask you to go to jolandajones.com and donate. And you can actually volunteer virtually because my opponents can afford to pay for all that. I can't. But you know what? If I followed the playbook of what people thought or who people thought I would be growing up in a single parent household with my mama struggling, us getting evicted, and my mother, and I'm the oldest of 5, I'd be on welfare like very many people in my family. But you know what? That didn't matter because I had a village help me. My brother was murdered. My brother was shot 5 times, twice in the head. My aunt was murdered. She was shot twice in the head. I have a whole bunch of cousins who were murdered. I'm from, in their opinions, the wrong side of the tracks. But I believe that God put me through all this so that I would understand what it's like to just be a regular person who just wants a chance to be successful with hard work and a good public school education. And I'll also say this. I'm a dues-paying member of the Texas State Employees Union. And I am a state representative. I am a lawyer, self-employed, and I don't have to be a part of the union, but I believe as a child, when my mother was a union steward with the letter carriers, that a union is as strong as its dues-paying members.
That's right.
And so that's why I pay to be in the union.
I know that's right.
Tiffany, do you have a final question for Rep. Jones before we go into tonight's topics?
I do not. How you doing, Rev Jones? Your story is very inspirational, and you got me over here as somebody who's going through the caregiver experience right now with my mother-in-law.
It's hard.
It's very hard.
It's hard.
And yes, you almost brought me to tears. But my thing is, I always say that, like you, I love civics, and I always say all politics is local. And so I feel like everything that you said, I hope that it does transpire to the people on the ground and they do come out and they vote for you, because like Zach, I have also said to one of your opponents that I hope you will be the candidate to win this race, because I feel like your story, your strength, and just everything that you embody is what we need in the Congress. We don't need the same old, same old. We need people who talk like us, who act like us, who think like us, and understand the struggles of everyday people. And so I just want to wish you lots of luck next week. And if there is a runoff, then you know we got you.
Thank you. And I will finally say this. Ain't no damn reason that the president should be trolling people. He's the president of the United States of America. You trolling people, you like paying people to do AI, to like dump feces on people who are protesting against you because we have a First Amendment right to do that, and you demolishing the White House and tearing that down. You've waged war against us, especially if the mayors are Black. You wage war on immigrants, and you are enriching and building wealth for y'all, and you're not building any affordable housing. We need affordable housing. This place is crazy, and I'm ready to give him the blues with my intellect and my street sense and my life experiences.
I know that's right. You better do that thing, Ms. Jones.
I will. I'm so thankful that you guys are talking about this, because people need to speak in real terms so that people can understand what's going on. And I'm just very thankful to all of you.
Rep Jones, thank you so much. It has been a joy and a pleasure to have you with us. And
Oh yeah, I like the dress. Can you tell?
Now, let me tell you right off the bat that, you know, this is likely to go into a runoff that will be even lower in terms of turnout than the November 4th election. So it's going to be important that we continue to watch this, that we continue to see this, that we continue to support throughout. Donations that you make will make a difference. And we definitely hope for a surge in donations as we look towards what is likely to be a runoff. I think you have what, 12? Is it 8 or 12 people in this race?
There's 16 people in the race, and no amount is too small.
Yeah,
I need for y'all to give. It is super important.
Race. And Rep Jones is one of the top contenders. It's a hard race. It's a competitive race that recently got more competitive with endorsements. And so anything will make a difference. And again, like, you know, we're looking at Americans going into challenging times. And you know, anything that you have can make a difference, but also any ways that just in general for support, because what's going to have to happen is our collective support for each other and for community. Rep Jones, thank you so much. And we will, my friend, we'll be seeing you soon. We're going to dive into the topics. Thank you, Rep Jones.
Thank you.
That was a joy. That was a joy. Again, people, anything that you can give will make a difference. I'll be making my donation tonight. I saw that we had a $5 drop. I don't know who you gave that to, if it was to me, Kenny, or to Tiff, but I'm definitely going to be, you know, matching donations tonight to Representative Jones up to $150. So I'll be matching donations up to $150. So whatever you give, whoever you give it to, it don't matter to me. I'm still going to dump whatever we get. I'll match up to $150.
And I'll match you. In the words of Nene Leaks, I will match you right there.
Some of you gave to this motherfucker right here.
Oh,
Graham Platner. Okay. You get, Tiffany, you were one of the first. Okay. You were one of the first to publicly come out and call it out. Tiffany, what made you so right? How did you know?
She smelled.
Okay. First of all, it's the voice. It's also the anti-Democrat bullshit. Okay. That's the thing that got me.
To Rep Jones, $15 to Rep Jones.
We are going to match it.
That's now $30 to Rep Jones. And
all right. So my thing with Graham Platner is that when I first heard about this dude, because he came out of nowhere and he was talking that anti-Democrat bullshit, the establishment, all this other stuff. Like I said in my tweet this morning, you look in the mirror and say establishment 5 times and Bernie Sanders going to jump out the goddamn mirror. Like this is what we have to deal with this bullshit. And so when I saw that, I already knew this is John Fetterman 2.0. This is Kristen Sinema 3.0. We've been here, done this before, and we know the signs. The instinct was kicking in. We all felt it. We all knew something wasn't right. And sure enough, baby, they done dropped the whole Apple file on this mofo. And here we are.
Oh God. So okay, I'm not gonna say what I called him in my video, but however, we just gonna change his last name for Platner to the Platters, okay? Because he's the great pretender. He's pretending like he didn't know what that damn tattoo meant, but he had it for over 20 fucking years. And then he claims to be a military historian. So you're telling me you didn't know any of this? You didn't know that you were rocking a Nazi, what is it called? A death head tattoo on your chest, right next to your heart? Are you serious?
This is one of the most disgusting displays of anti-Semitism and hatred ever made. This is a tattoo of the emblem worn by the people who actually took lives. Okay, these are the people that took lives.
But the thing is, I'm just gonna call it
the people that ran the chambers. And this man, a member of the United States military, tattooed this on his body. And
the shit that pisses me off is this motherfucker try to blame it on the alcohol. Like that really got to me, talking about I was inebriated. Bitch, you was inebriated and you didn't go home and say, hold up, let me go look and see what I got on my motherfucking chest. Like you didn't think about that for 10 whole fucking years until you got on the goddamn podcast and tried to say, oh, well, I was dancing at my brother and my sister-in-law's wedding. I don't think people realize how this ended up coming out. Okay? This motherfucker knew that this motherfucker knew that this was out there in the file. And he went on the Pod Bro show and talked to, I guess, Tommy or one of them fools. I don't even know their names. And sat there and tried to explain away this bullshit before people could actually really dig into it. Talking about, if you didn't see the video, he was dancing. He was almost butt-ass naked at his brother and sister-in-law's wedding. And you could see the tattoo. Otherwise, people probably wouldn't have known this. They could see the tattoo in the video where they could tell, obviously, if you were smart enough to go look it up, then you would question it. And then people, so he knew this was coming out. So he preempted this story by exposing it to then have everybody then be like, oh shit, this motherfucker might be a Nazi. And you are trying to blame it away with the alcohol. Like, you're drunk. Like, let's be real. Like, there's like 100 things that I've red flags that were just blaring at me. First of all, if you're at your sister's wedding and you got your drawers on, guess what? You ain't shit. Okay. Who the fuck does that? Who does that? Come on. The flag, we're flagging.
Me and Citizen Morgan are right at the same place. Like, I'm sitting here laughing because when you talk about blaming it on the alcohol, maybe he was listening to Spotify and Jamie Foxx popped up. And maybe that's the reason why he wanted to blame it on the alcohol. But the funny thing about all of this is one of his campaign staffers talked to him about this way before the story even leaked or before anybody even got wind to this, way before the news cycle, before anything came out, and told him what this was. And he still chose to do what he did. Like, I don't understand. Like, the doubling down is also what's pissing me off, particularly what I'm seeing from the authoritarian left or whatever the fuck you want to call them, prejudice progressives, if you will. Anytime something like this happens where it's an instant of something problematic, anti-Semitic, anti-Black, anti-woman, misogynistic, whatever the fuck you want to call it, progressive wing of our party always want to explain it away, and they always want us to just take it off the backs. Why is it always got to fall on the backs of the most marginalized to get us? We just have to take it and take it and take it. Take it, Black person. Take it, immigrant. Take it this. Take it that. Like, I don't want to continue to do this. And again, Tiff, you sound the alarm about Fetterman years ago about him chasing down an unarmed Black man with a shotgun. And progressives said, oh, this is a nothing burger. Y'all just don't like him. Now look at it. Now look at it.
That's the part that's killing me, right? Is that we are trying to tell people, like, this is, and I talked about this last week about vetting people. We have to vet people. These people are rookies in this game. When there is races and there are primaries, especially Senate primaries, I've been through many of them, I've been involved in many of them. The vetting process is something that is very real. Okay. These people are acting like somebody's coming, like this is a witch hunt. Motherfucker, this is a vetting process. There is a candidate that jumped into this race. She has the file. She knows before she jumped in this race, I am sure she saw all of this shit and was like, oh, I got this motherfucker, and decided to jump in this race. And a week after she jumps in the race, you start to see all of this start coming out. Yeah, they gave that shit to the media. That's how this works, guys. You give stuff to the media, and yes. They give stuff to the media, and the media floats it. This is politics.
Yeah, it's politics.
It doesn't. Listen, it could be the DSCC. It could be whoever prepared the file. There is somebody who prepared this motherfucker, and they gave that shit to the media and said, "Run with it. Go do whatever you got." So these stories will continue to come out. This is one.
I got a bombshell. I got one for you. I got a new one. I have a new. I'll
let you announce the new one because
as an excellent producer, as an excellent show producer and I got a brand new bombshell to enter the villa. But I do want to say before that, people, I want y'all to understand. I don't, his former campaign manager who quit immediately upon this stuff being leaked, emphasize this man is a military historian. Mm-hmm. Like, people are talking about that. There was no mistake here. He's a military historian. This man is a military historian because he cares about shit like this. He cares about these artifacts. He cares about Nazi history and shit like that. He knew what he was doing. He knew what the fuck it meant. Okay? He knew what it meant. And the people, Tiffany, this man was vetted. He was vetted. You saw, like I saw, all those online people running to his defense. They had this plan. It was a strategy. They were ready to defend him because racism, and anti-Semitism and homophobia is not the dividing line. And let me tell you, and I put homophobia in there because of today's bombshell.
Oh Lord, what happened now?
This man today, he's apologized today for the multiple times that he's called people the F slur and homophobic derogatory terms. Okay, it's ongoing. This piece of shit offends everybody. He's a piece of shit. He's an asshole. He's a bad motherfucking human being. But that's okay to his supporters. That's okay to these leftists because that's what the fuck they do behind closed doors. The people who are defending him are not bothered by this because that's what they do. That's the language they use. Make no mistake about it. Because if you didn't use this language, if you didn't feel this way, if you didn't say these things, you wouldn't be able to defend it.
I mean,
but talking about those motherfucking Pod Save America bros.
But you know who I blame for all of this, and I'm always, and it's gonna be fuck him till I die. You already know who I blame. The root of the issue and gave a platform to these people will always be Bernie Sanders. It always goes back. If we're gonna go back, let's take the time machine all the way back to 2016. Let's go back. I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember because I'm old enough to remember. I'm old enough to remember back in 2016 when Black voters were supporting Hillary Clinton. And I think it was on the Young Turks, if I'm not mistaken. They said the only reason why Black people are supporting Hillary Clinton is because her husband played a saxophone. The second thing is Black people are low information voters. They don't know what's best for them. And it just continued and continued and continued the attacks. And then I'll never forget at the Democratic National Convention, when those people were protesting, Hillary hadn't even came out yet. I remember John Lewis was standing on the stage and his supporters booed John Lewis.
Oh my God.
That was the beginning of the end,
director. I remember his press secretary. I'm sorry, his press secretary, Breonna Joy Gray.
My God.
Said that John Lewis would throw a cat under the bus because that's what he's used to, because he said he didn't know who Bernie Sanders was when he was in the civil rights movement. He said, I don't know him. I don't recall seeing him. And in all of my line of work fighting for civil rights, I don't ever remember Bernie Sanders, but he said throughout his career of fighting for civil rights, he remembered Hillary Clinton, not Bernie. And his little pick-me had to go ahead and play Captain Save-A-Ho for Bernie and the bros and throw a civil rights activist and leader like John Lewis under the bus for a white man who has no accomplishments whatsoever. And renaming a few post offices. I remember back in 2020, because we're gonna keep going. We
still going. Okay, let's go.
It keeps going. I remember when a lot of us were upset at the mere fact that Bernie Sanders was touting this endorsement from Joe Rogan. And we're like, wait a minute now. You are aware that Joe Rogan called Black people the N-word 25 times on his show, right? You are aware that he compared us to the Planet of the Apes. You are aware of this, correct? And he doubled down. Like he's always doubling down.
He's always
he's
always right. He's always
not a race issue. It's all about class. But here's the situation. We ain't falling for that GI Bill bullshit no motherfucking mouth. And the reason why your initials is BS because you're bullshit. It's not Bernie Sanders. It's just bullshit.
Bernie Sanders has never given one fuck shit about Black people in this country. And he never will. He never will. He never will.
Because then I had to hear these same stupid people talking about, oh, it's always about identity. That man is white and he's a goddamn problem. If y'all don't let that man go, y'all out here looking stupid. And the same people, oh my God, all weekend I had to see people defending this man, defending. Then when Monday comes, Capo drop about this whole thing. And then Tuesday, it's like nonstop. And I'm just like, then they get to Bernie and he's like, I'm still supporting him. I'm not getting off of this. Then you have the quiet people, right? The Rokanas, your boy. He was all quiet. He had nothing to say. He went mute. It was a mute challenge. All these people just decided they wasn't going to say shit because they knew damn well that this man wasn't shit. But this is what happens when you allow people to jump into a race without doing your goddamn homework. Do your homework, people. This is not complicated. We all have gut instincts. You could look at somebody and be like, yeah, I don't know about that person. Something ain't right in the water.
Anytime
and there was definitely something not right.
When you spend more time online talking negatively about the Democrats than you do Republicans in the moment, like what we're living in right now, you're not a Democrat. You're not a fucking Democrat. You do not deserve any Democratic nomination. And that's how I know. That's when I hear you say, and same thing goes with James Tell Rico, who get the fuck Rico. That motherfucker's talking way too much negative shit about Democrats. You're not a Democrat. You are not a Democrat. And here's the thing with these people, and I hate to say it, and I hate to say it because I'm a pure blood Democrat. I hate to make fun of the non-pure blood Democrats, using some Harry Potter language on your ass, but because everybody in my family has always been Democrats, grandmother, great-grandmother, mother, everybody. These people were never, they weren't raised Democrats. Their parents were fucking Republicans.
Exactly.
Many of them are brand new to the party, don't even know what the party fucking has stand for, don't know the history of the party, and they themselves may not believe in the philosophies and the ideology of the Democratic Party. They may just be there for opportunity.
No,
and that's exactly. But that's the thing.
The thing is, like, what was it? So the only reason why they grew up in a conservative household, right?
Yep.
They keep in those conservative ideology, like the racism, the bigotry, the misogyny. However, when it comes to capitalism, it didn't work out for them. So they want these social policies. And when these social policies are implemented, they're going to leave POC out of it. So every time Black people, particularly Black activists or policymakers, ask questions about, okay, so we want to implement these policies, but what are you going to do to make sure that we have non-discriminatory measures so that everybody will be able to qualify, that everybody's going to be able to benefit? What are we going to do to make sure we have a civil rights task force? Anytime we ask those questions, they just say, move on. Stop making this about a race issue. Stop using identity politics. Well, the situation is, even to this day, we're looking at the inequities. Even in social programs that exist today, we are discriminated in housing, health, food, etc. It just goes on and on and on and on again. You have to stop gaslighting us as if we don't have data that backs this up.
That's right.
Go ahead, Tim.
No, to your point, Kenny, about even with Fetterman, like he comes from a Republican family. They call them a silver spoon socialist for a reason, because that motherfucker gets that dude gets a freaking salary from his dad every month. He never worked a real job. He never worked a real job. He has always, even though he was the mayor of Braddock, he was only getting paid like $20,000 a year. This was a part-time job, but he lived in the community, and his father gave him money every month. He is a trust fund kid. Okay, these people are frauds, and if y'all don't wake the hell up and start seeing that these people are who they are, like you said, they were raised in Republican families. They come from money. This guy Platner, he comes from money. His father was a lawyer. His grandfather was an architect. These people have money. Yeah, he tried to play out and be like, oh, I'm a working class guy, blah, blah, blah. I wear a hoodie and I freaking chain smoke and I do all this shit. No one cares. These are not real people. What we saw with Jolanda is a real person. That's a real person who had real shit that happened to them in their life. These people are freaking privileged ass people posing as Democrats and shitting on the party while doing it, and then they're appealing to these people that don't even like us. They hate us. They hate everybody. And what are we supposed to do? Just sit around and just watch the shit happen? Like, it's exhausting to see this shit. I'm tired. I'm fucking pissed.
And something that's making people even more pissed is the demolition of the White House. The federal government is still shut down. We are on day 18 today of the government shutdown. And what we have here is last night, Donald Trump having a $1 million per person fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago. And they've torn down the east wing of the White House to build out his what is it? What are they building? The ballroom. They
are building a ballroom. There's going to be billionaires and thieves in there. Okay, billionaires and thieves, not Beauty and the Beast, but billionaires and thieves. Okay,
I'm waiting. When is it going to drop?
Child, I am working on it, but don't tell nobody what I'm doing.
I won't say a word. And so this is happening. People are really upset about it. Are y'all upset about it? I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you my
The
opinion, but
thing
you tell
that's
me what y'all
pissing me off about it is like, okay, look, he doesn't have the right to do this. Like, this is a historical landmark. He doesn't have the right to do what he's doing. And the weird thing about it is, and it's funny because he'll sit here and say, well, this is self-funded. This isn't coming out of taxpayers' dollars. But when you sit here and think about it, the people who are help funding this are the people that he gave the tax cuts to in order to strip away our healthcare and SNAP benefits that's about to be shut down if we continue with this government shutdown all the way to November. So your ass gonna be hungry on Thanksgiving. So good luck on that. I'm still looking for that white lady who was counting cheese slices. I want to know if she's gonna have food and cheese and greens and stuffing and turkey this Thanksgiving. I really want to know. I want to know if she's thankful for her vote for Donald Trump. But I digress. It's interesting that they'll sit here and say, "Oh, well, this is self-funded. Oh, this is going to be with government. This is not going to be with government funding." But it is when you think about it. Just think about the return on investment that billionaires are getting by helping Donald Trump with his vanity project, which is this ballroom, being the fact that they're going to be getting permanent tax cuts.
Okay, so I'm just answer this question because somebody said Ken Martin needs to vet candidates. That's not the role of the DNC chair. That is the role of other candidates to vet other candidates, and that is exactly what's happening. Just so you got, and the DSCC. But yeah, as far as this specifically, yeah, it made me sad because the only time that I've been to the White House, I went with Kenny. He was so gracious to take me to the White House with him on an event, and to see that yesterday with the like it just demolished, just like kind of broke my heart because I'm like, it was so nice. Like it was such a nice building, and that the ball, like where they had like, you know, all the different rooms and all that stuff. I don't even know what part they were tearing, but I know it's that entrance, like that entrance when you come in or you come out of, when you walk out, that they destroyed. And it just made me sad just to think about it because a lot of people really haven't had the opportunity to go to the White House. You know, that's like a kind of like a privileged thing to go to the White House, whether you were able to go to DC on a trip or you were lucky enough to go when Biden was there. Most people in this country have never been to the White House. And now it's the Trump house. And it's disgusting. That we, you know, that people that to know that this man is he's just reckless and doesn't care about anything or anyone history nonetheless. And it just makes me sad that we are where we are in this country because we warned people for so many months about what this man was going to do and how he was going to do it. Same like we were talking about with Fetterman. It's like Black people, they keep telling folks that these bad things are going to happen and folks just keep ignoring us. And it's really frustrating to have to listen and see the fuckery that's going on over there and the lies. It's just the lies and the buffoonery, and just every day is something. Like it's to the point where I have to turn, you know, I love politics and I can't even listen to this shit anymore. I can't even listen to this man because I just get angry.
Well, it's too much focus on Donald Trump. And that's something that we need to definitely continuously push for that to come to an end. I don't know what this man is going to do. He can try all the bullshit he wants to try, but constitutionally, he cannot serve a fucking third term. Okay? He just can't. Now, I have no faith. These people wipe their ass and shit on the Constitution every single day. But I do firmly believe that him trying to have a third term at fucking 81 years old, 82 years old, is really going to be difficult. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that this man is doing things, trying to cement his legacy, trying to redefine the White House, trying to bully people to give him a Nobel Prize, renaming projects that were passed under President Biden's infrastructure bill to give his name to it. He knows that he is not long for this world or long for that seat. So the more we make this about Trump and what Trump is doing, we are taking away and leaving those who are truly accountable unaccounted for, right? This is the work of Republicans in across the country. Everybody in this country who calls themselves Republicans responsible for what's happened to this White House because they're standing in solidarity with this man. This is the work of people that have to get reelected, like Mike Johnson, like your Republican legislator, like your people in your city hall. These people are responsible, and that's what we have to constantly call out for. We don't need to be distracted by Donald Trump. Before him, it was Elon Musk. And soon it's going, and now they're trying to make it Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller has no power, like Elon Musk had no power. They're distractions front and cover for the real villains, the real problem, the real people who we can't hold accountable, Republicans.
No, for sure. I mean, I don't really know where we go. Like, I don't know what the solution is. I mean, we had this whole protest over the weekend. 7 million people showed up. I mean, yeah, great, cool.
7 million people, right? Well, let's talk about that. That's a good thing to talk about. Tiff, you woke it up. So what are you saying?
No, I just think that, listen, I call that protest. It was like the Rhythmless White People protest. You know what I mean? Like they just came out, they was dancing, they was having a good time. They was marching. All of us, we was at brunch and home chilling in our business. And listen, white people are gonna be the ones to have to.
Kenny was working. He tried to go.
He tried to go. We know. We saw his little story. He was mad. He has costume ready. I mean, listen, there were Black people out there. There was Hispanic people out there. There was all kinds of people out there. I saw you. I saw you covered it. Yeah, I mean, that's great.
Perspective. So you know what we really need is we really need them to join. You know what? We need them to join the show. We need to have them come on and talk to our audience. And I'm like, because I had questions. So there was a pre-call that was had. I don't know if you were on that call, Kenny. That was a pre-call where the people from Indivisible were on the chorus call with us. And it made me look at it differently, Tiff. And let me tell you what, I don't know if I can share this, but I'm going to share it. Can I share it? I think I can share it. I don't know, but I'm going to. This really wasn't a protest, and they know it wasn't a protest. And it really kind of wasn't meant to be a protest, although they call it a protest, but they kind of don't call it a protest because they call it a rally, which is much more of a demonstration. We're really not protesting yet because the American people don't know how to protest.
True.
They don't know how. So this is actually a huge, large-scale training ground for teaching Americans how to protest and how to dissent before the time comes to protest and dissent. And as bad as we think it may be now, we do believe that it will get worse. And once it gets worse, it's going to truly be time to protest with all the means of protesting. It hasn't yet happened.
I agree with that.
Do that. So this is just practice. This is just a buildup. So they went from 3 million to 5 million to 7 million, and hopefully they're going to get to the 10 million, which indicates that 3.5 million Americans are ready to dissent against and are unhappy with what's happening. 3.5% of the population is the magic number that shows a dictator can be toppled, that authoritarian regime can fall. So the No Kings protest is about building up to get to that critical mass number before it is taken away or decelerated by the powers that be. Because what can stop the movement is the authoritarian regime itself attacking it. And as you see, every time they've had No Kings protests, the pushback from the authoritarian regime has gotten stronger and more fierce and more likely to create issues. So that's kind of where it goes and why it goes. So, and the goals of No Kings is different than the goals of civil rights movement or Women's March or Million Man March. It's different goals. And they also learn lessons from the Women's March, which didn't result in shit, and the Million Man March that didn't result in shit. They're not repeating those mistakes. They've learned from those mistakes to get us ready for what will come next. Okay. Now, that's as far as the conversation went, but it was enough for me to say, oh, that makes sense. I'm going to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think any demonstration, whatever you want, whatever word you want to use, I like I said, it was like a party atmosphere. I've seen it before. I've gone to one here where these people, you're just standing around. I mean, some places they were actually marching and they were, walking down, and some places they were just standing around. And, here, a lot of them are just, like you said, rallies, just rallying people to try to get them engaged. And yes, there were a lot of older people. I thought it was very interesting. And me and Ms. D talked about this on Friday on our live about the fact that a lot of that, what's really pissing MAGA and Republicans off is that there's their fellow whites that are out there protesting. So they are seeing that there is actual dissent from white people. It's not about us.
Matters. And
that to me, it pisses them off like no other.
They were blowing my post up because they were saying they're all white people. Where are the black people in Atlanta? Baby, the black people in Atlanta are at home because they showed up in November and they still said they ain't ready to come back out. I don't know when they're going to come back out. They don't ever have to come back out. But the fact that there were 7 million people out, the majority of them were white, is exactly what we need. That's what we need. That was the damn problem. That's the voting bloc that fucked this shit up. We are thankful that the majority of this crowd is white because that's who we need at the ballot box in 2026 to turn shit around.
Well, my whole thing is I'm just hoping that even with this, I mean, the whole purpose is that call to action, that rally cry. However, to your point, I hope these people don't just show up to just the fucking rally and actually show up to the damn polls.
Well, I think they will. I think the purpose is to mobilize them and to get them fired up. And I think that they will be involved heavily in the 2026 midterms across the country. I do believe so. And there are at every single rally lots of civic organizations collecting data and information. There are lots of them.
I mean, can we be honest? Just from a numbers perspective, a lot of white people vote for Kamala Harris. I mean, the majority of the white people voted for Trump, but Kamala still got about 40%. She got millions and millions of white people that voted for her. So a lot of these people are people that voted for her that are coming out pissed off. You have some independent people that are out there. These are not MAGA people. These are not people that were going to flip votes and they're going to come. We just need these people to be mobilized to be able to get other people to be engaged and maybe convince other folks that, yeah, this is a fucked up situation. But it's not for us to do. It's not for Black folks to convince white folks to get out and vote. I mean, this is for white people to convince their fellow whites to come out and vote and say this enough is enough with this man. And that's what they did. I will give them that. Does it change anything? Probably not. But it is what it is. And like I said, we have races. We have races coming up. I need people in New York. Those same people in New York, they're gonna turn out and vote. Same people in New Jersey, I need y'all to turn out and vote. I need same people in Virginia, in California, in Pennsylvania, in Texas.
Georgia,
I need in Georgia. I mean, there are races.
Lower these prices. Absolutely. So, good questions coming in. Yeah, hopefully they will talk to their kin folks. And we appreciate you, Tisa, for being here with us and for pushing and for just being a part of the community, our community, and, giving us perspective. And please continue to fight and keep doing the work. We have $25. So I'm giving $150 tonight. I'll post that donation also on Twitter so you guys can see it. And I have not heard about I've heard about the book, but I ain't read it yet. I had to replace my iPad. I actually replaced the dang iPad today. iPads are high as shit. Why the fuck are iPads so high? I didn't want to buy the iPad, but I'm like, damn, I'm missing out on all these books because I can't read a book anymore if it's on an iPad. Judge me if you want to, but I just read so fast on the iPad. And I'm like, I hate not reading fast. So I bought one because there's a book I bought called Micro Activism. And then the damn book I'm reading, I'm like, shit, I need it on iPad. I said, fuck, let me buy this iPad. So I may read Jean-Pierre Carrie Ann's book on the plane tomorrow, but I don't know. Tomorrow I'll be in New York City, NYC, tomorrow evening for a meeting. So we will see. I want to also share with everybody my new endeavor, new post on my page. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. I think it's pretty good. The damn shit ain't getting a lot of views. Get this some views. Make some comments. It's really, don't watch. You have to watch it today. You can watch it whenever you want to, but watch it this week. I interviewed Dr. Heavenly Combs. For many of you who may not know her because you're not maybe a reality TV person, she is on a television show called Married to Medicine, or she was. This actually gave the exclusive drop. Actually, I think I have a little clip in here.
Yeah, play that clip. And if anybody has time to watch it, it is an amazing clip.
Kenny, let me see.
Vice President Kamala Harris. Amazing. Joe Biden. Alleged. Mariah Huff. I love everybody. You may know her from Married to Medicine, but she is now a candidate for the United States Congress. Dr. Heavenly, welcome to Politically Black. How in the world can you balance it all?
I always say I'm every woman, but I can't be every woman all the time.
the political thing, God put it on my heart. I've been called to do this, so I don't have a choice. If you want a hella political congresswoman, come to Dr. Heavenly. All the people wanted somebody to tell the truth and not leave them like other politicians have. They get these offices and they disappear. We ain't heard from my congressman. We haven't heard from them. We heard from them when they voted to get Charlie Kirk. I don't even know who the hell Charlie Kirk was. Is Daddy gonna let you run for Congress? It was Daddy's idea. How have the Bravo team embraced this? Because the reality is they may lose one of their brightest stars. To this day, I don't know if I'm a friend of the show. I don't know if I'm full cast. I am a great part of the show. I can't see them cut me out of it because it was a lot about me.
Okay.
But now we know they did cut her out, right? So that was kind of like an exclusive drop in the video. She did make the cast. That was announced today. So there will be a follow-up with Dr. Heavenly. There's a lot to follow up with her about. But I think that it was a really good, I love the interview. I thought it was one of my best interviews. I thought it was one of my best. Kenny thought it was a good interview.
It was actually very good. You gotta watch it. It's actually very, very good.
Yeah, I saw it pop up on my YouTube when I was watching the debate, the New York debate.
Dr. Heavenly was really answering those questions, and she was being very candid.
She was. Dr. Heavenly did an amazing job of answering some really hard political questions about Georgia's 13th district that is currently held by Representative David Scott. And she has some tough competition. She's running against a very strong Georgia a black gay man named Everton Blair, who's a long-term, he was like the first openly gay man to serve to municipal office in Gwinnett County. He was on the school board. So she's got her work cut out for her. I'm getting some pushback from the black gay men in Atlanta, friends of mine, who are like, why would you interview Dr. Heavenly when you have an interview Everton? And I don't mind talking about it on the show, but I'm gonna interview Everton. I can't wait to interview Everton. But I interviewed Dr. Heavenly because Dr. Heavenly, reached out. Like, her people are out here in the streets. They're like finding out who are the people in Georgia who are moving and shaking, and who are the people that we need to talk to. So hell, they reached out and ran up to Kenny. They found Kenny's ass in DC. Like, her people are working. Her people are working. So it's going to be interesting to see. And again, for those who watch the interview, Deshae, just give this interview a chance and see how you feel about Dr. Heavenly from the interview. And as you see the non-TV Heavenly emerge, I think that you'll see. And I also give some comments about how I watch reality TV. I think all of it's really worth I think it's a good one to watch.
Well, let me just say I look forward to seeing it. About reality. About her being reality TV. We have a reality TV star in the White House.
President.
I don't.
We have a man. Kenny, say it again. Say it louder. Say it again. Wait. We got a what? Kenny, let me make it. We got a what?
House, demolishing it. So I don't want to hear anything about. Dr. Heavenly comes from reality TV. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at all. That's bullshit. Okay, excuses. The bar is up here.
We do have a reality TV star.
The bar is in hell. When it comes,
shall we have okay, let's be clear. We have a reality TV star president. We got a reality TV star, unfortunately, transportation secretary. Wow. Being on reality TV is actually not a deterrent anymore. She is also a dentist. Let's be clear. She is not. She's not just a
the real world. And if you want, we got podcasters on fucking.
Yeah. We got the FBI is run by. The FBI deputy is a podcaster, child, who claims he's not black. And look at him. I mean, these things are crazy. But my thing with Dr. Heavenly is I do like her, and I think that I will watch. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I just want to see what she has to say, and I wouldn't. I like to say your mama a lot. So I would really love for somebody to go to Congress and get it there, and Mike Johnson is talking, and she'd be like, "Yo, mama," and I would be like, "Go Heavenly."
That's her claim to fame. She did
that's her claim to fame.
That's one of her greatest reality TV lines. Let me tell you again, I have not made any endorsement in this race. I am going to make an endorsement at some point, but I don't know at what point I'll make it. But I will make it before the actual primary happens in May of 2026, because that's when this race will be won. because it's a 60% Democratic seat. Can't see it flipping red, although it's a gerrymander. See, they shifted it to make it less Democrat, but it's still 60% Democrat. I will say this, and I'll go back to what I said earlier because I really had to reflect. I don't want another clean-cut, cookie-cutter black man in Congress. Okay, I'm just being honest. I don't want that, and I want more fire, more gonna call it out, more take it to task. And so that's what I'm looking for actually in every single competitive Democratic race. And it can be a man. Like if Kenny was running for a seat, I
No.
full throatedly support him because I know that he's not going to come in there and be milk toast, run the mill, dress nice, not say shit, smile and vote. And we need a fighter and we need a mouthpiece. And that's coming from someone who's has absolute respect for the decorum. So it's just about, we got too many of, it's more than enough of them. Like when 90% of the black people in Congress are one way, it's okay to have 10% of them be a little bit different. Now, if 80%, well, I might be looking for back to my cookie cutter.
Well, I love this change of heart, Zach, because
it's not a change of heart now. Though I'm not saying I don't like the professional, well put together, wear that dark blue suit, congressional man. I do like that. I'm just saying when everybody's already like that, it's good to have some different kind of voices in this
I
one
think
moment.
the main reason why we need something like that, whether it be a Jolanda Jones or whether it be a Dr. Heavenly, I think the main issue is right now we are the opposition party, right? And we need to start acting like it. We need some people who are willing to flip some damn tables in Congress, really act the goddamn fool. I want to see, what was that video from another country where that lady just started speaking? She said, "Oh, thunder," and started ripping up the paper.
That was New Zealand. That was New Zealand.
We need that in the U.S. Congress, okay? We need that type of fire because the only thing we can do at this moment is be a burden to Republicans. That's all we can. I want to be a fucking thorn in their damn side. And that's what we need to do. We're not going to be able to really legislate, so why not give them hell every fucking step of the damn way?
Every step of the way.
Listen, I'm with you. I'm okay with a little bit of a mix up. I think there needs to be a little bit of a mix up. Listen, if you again, I'm all about vetting candidates, and what you did, Zach, is vet her. You vetted her. I mean, really and truly, you got the interview and you were able to ask her question. That's a part of vetting. And that's what we need. We need people. I don't judge people based on their, their what they did in reality TV. Again, she's a professional woman. She has a whole entire dentist practice. She's in the community. She does stuff. So I'm not going to judge her off for being on a reality show. There's a lot of people that are on reality shows, but and it's not like she's on, Love and Hip Hop. Come on, guys. I just think that we do need some kind of variety, and I'm a little tired too of the same kind of people. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a person that is a lawyer. Jasmine Crockett's a lawyer, right? She comes from that background. You don't have to, you can be brash and be yourself as a lawyer. But I just think, like, to your point, I'm just tired of the quiet people. Like, we need fighters. We need people who are going to stand up for us, who understand the struggle, who understand, kind of like where the people really are. And I'm just kind of over the same old same. We need variety for sure.
And she's definitely gonna be, I definitely can tell her. I know where I can't. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna tell you her politics aligns with the politics you hear right here on this podcast. You ain't got to worry about no Platner shit. You ain't got to worry about no Bernie shit. No Platner shit from Dr. Heavenly. It's not gonna happen. And that's something that I'm gonna talk to her about in the follow-up, because I have some, other questions. So it's coming. So with that being said, y'all, thank you so much. It's been great to see you. We'll see you guys this week. I got to get my ass in here and pack. Luckily, this is a day trip, so it won't be much to pack, but still, I got to do it.
Bye, guys. See you next week.